Hello, everyone. I'm Lady Calamere. I welcome you to my YouTube channel. I'm doing my 311th presentation. It will be on the Orisha Osain. Before I go on, I would like to dedicate this to Brandy, who just died. She died of cancer. And her husband, I'd like to dedicate it to him. He died right before her. I mean, literally passed away right before she did. So I'd like to dedicate this to the husband and wife, couple David and Brandy. So Osain, okay. As always, you can see I have a statue of him here. And some people may argue about the way this looks, but this was available, so I bought it. So Osain is a primordial Orisha. He's older than Oshun, older than Jongo. He's older. He's one of the primordials, ancient, top shelf Orisha. Okay, he's the Orisha of every herb, flower, plant. He's the Orishas of all the foliage. He's ancient. There's a song about this Orisha that he arose from Olokun. Olokun is the deep ocean. Okay, I did a presentation on Olokun. All right. There's also when he came down from heaven, from the heavens, the divine, he was full-bodied. And we're going to get into what happened to him, and we'll get into some of the adventures and some of the things from the Patakis. Now, word of caution. In Lukumi, now this is in the new world. In the new world of the Santeria. We're talking about Cuba, the Americas and stuff. So, in the Lukumi tradition, only men can be initiated to him. And do not shoot the messenger. I'm just a messenger. It cannot be a gay man. It cannot be a woman who became a man. It has to be a heterosexual, macho man. So that's in the Patakis in Santeria Lukumi. Now, Isheshe is different because they have women who have the same rank as a Babalao. Babalao means the father of the mysteries. Now, Iyanifa means the mother of wisdom. So Isheshe is different. That's from Nigeria, where women can become like a rank of the Babalao. But so when you go to Lukumi, if you're an Iyanifa, you will not be seen as a Babalao, as his rank. Okay? For the most part. I can't, at least from when I was learning back in the 90s, but it's still true today. A woman is not going to be initiated into Lukumi as a Babalao, and she's not going to be initiated on Osain. In fact, when we talk about Osain, it's a closed off practice, a closed off worship. All right. Basically, when they're working with him, it's done in secret. It's done where, windows closed, curtains closed, doors are closed, not meant for prying eyes. So it's not in Lukumi, not an open practice. Osain is pronounced Osain, but then to the New World became Osain. And he spelled different things. His full name is a really, 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 really long name. So when his Osain Ogwen Negui Aguado Kunikuni is also known as Osain Aguchui. So Osain may or may not work with you if you, as a woman, and may not even, even with some men, may not even accept offerings. But it doesn't mean women cannot work with herbs. That's ridiculous. So that's not what I'm, even though he's the owner of all herbs and he is foliage and he represents the trees, all the foliage in the jungles and stuff. And each Orisha, yes, they have the herbs, and I'll get into how they got the herbs, and which comes from the different patakis, but he will always be the owner of the herbs. Osain is, after his curse from Olodumare and after what Chongo did to him and everything, has become more placated, I would say. But, before all this happened, I'll get into it. He's raw. I'm talking about raw. Like, in your face, raw. All right? He's aggressive. He can blow up at the drop of a hat in your face. And also, he is a warrior and knows some serious martial arts. All right? I mean, this one is brute strength. Raw. And let's go into some things about how, okay, this Osain is, he gets very greedy. He can be very selfish. And when the other Orishas wanted to use the herbs, it came at a high price, or he wouldn't share. The Orishas are pretty tired of this. Well, Chongo was the most tired of it because he wanted an herb, and one day he was sulking to Oya. And Osain keeps his herbs in a tureen, held up high in a tree. He wouldn't share. So Oya was like, I'll be right back there. You'll get the herb you want. So she goes to where Osain had it, like in a tureen or in the sack above in the tree, and she took her skirts from her dress and she started waving it until a wind started, because she's a goddess. She's one of the ladies of the storms, goddess Orisha, Ori, dealing with the wind and the storms. And she also represents change, so she changes things up. The whole big tureen or the sack fell to the ground, and when all the Orishas saw the herbs, they ran and grabbed what they could. So whatever Orisha got, those herbs represent them, that is their herbs. Now Osain was told by Aldemar, it will always be yours, but because even though he was griping about this, not fair, the Orishas took from me, but they get to use these. So that's one story. Osain, how he became cursed by Olodumare. So in the Patakis, Osain, you see, he's a hunter and he has hunting dogs. and he saw a white deer, a beautiful female deer, and he desired to kill it. He took his bow and arrow, ready to kill. But Oldemore with his voice says, "Do not kill that white deer. This is my daughter. You can hunt what you want, but you just can't have her." So Osain said, okay. He goes back home, and he's thinking about it. He's become OCD about this. He's having intrusive thoughts. You must get the deer. You must have it, must have it, must have it. I must have it. So he goes to Urmila. Now these two have a rocky relationship. And Urmila does a reading and was told that you have so much. You have this and that and this and that. You just cannot have this white deer. You can hunt what you want. You have so much, but you just can't have this. It's just not meant for you. Osain left. He wasn't happy. Well, one day he saw the deer, and he was with his dogs. Guess what he did? See, he took what he could not have. And this is a warning. Do not take what is not meant for you. Do not try, basically, do not go for something that is not yours. He disobeyed Urmila. He disobeyed advice, and he disobeyed Olodumare, who is the supreme being, by the way, not a Narisha, beyond a Narisha, the supreme creator, creator of creators, supreme being. He shoots the deer. All of a sudden, the blood started coming out, and the dogs, they whined, they were whimpering, they were afraid, and the voice said, "You disobeyed me. Enjoy this meat because, and in the form you were in." And it said that Olodumare was the one that took his figure from him, where he made him this figure. Now, some people believe that is also from Chango, and I'll get to this. So Osain was no longer handsome. He had one big. It's some of the say he comes from Chango, but I'll get into that story. But how Osain is depicted now is with one leg, one arm, one big giant ear that he cannot hear from, and one itty bitty ear that he can hear a pin drop miles away. He can hear really, really good, and one eye. So he pretty much hops along, but even with one leg, he's more agile than humans. And he's still a force to be reckoned with. So one arm, one leg, one eye, one good ear, one bad ear. So Osain gets to be very jealous. He gets to be very jealous. And is he approachable? Caution, caution, caution. And it also depends on, are you looking at him as an Isheshe view, or are you looking at him from a Lukumi view? Okay, what is your lineage in Lukumi or Isheshe? What is your Ile, your house? Okay, where you practice that. Listen to the advice of your padrino and madrina, your godfather and your godmother. Okay? Listen to the advice of a reading, or from a santero or a babalao or a yanifa. Listen to the advice. That's all I can tell you. I'm not appropriate for me telling you what to do. I'm not going to tell you what to do. Okay? I'm telling you, Osain can be pretty ruthless when he wants to be. Remember, everyone says, well, if nature didn't make it, don't take it, right? But nature can be ruthless too. And all because it's organic doesn't mean it's good for you to eat. Poison ivy can be organic. That comes from nature. Poison oak. You got two types of hemlock. One that's not toxic, one that is. Same thing with sumac. You got one that's really toxic and one that's not. You just gotta know. And yeah, all because it's in nature doesn't mean you can eat it. You eat a toadstool, what do you think is gonna happen to you? So again, Osain can be that poison oak, that toadstool, or he can be a mushroom, or he could be a lettuce leaf that you can eat. All right. Now, there's a mistake that say, oh, Osain, because he deals with foliage, he's vegetarian. Wrong. He eats a lot, Osain. Okay, and he does love blood. He does love meat. He loves animal. He loves animal flesh like he loves vegetarian. Okay, so he's not vegan. He's not vegetarian. No, he likes vegetarian things. He'll eat. He eats. He's omnivorous. All right. Now, why doesn't he in Lukumi work with women? Okay, explain it to me. Someone's going to say, explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old or a 10-year-old. Okay, well, I'm not going to explain it to you like you're a 10-year-old because I'll be like, yeah. So I'll explain to you in layman's terms because I wouldn't explain this to a child at all. Nope. Yeah. I won't explain it to a child. So, okay, let's explain it to you like it's simple terms. He never had luck with women. In fact, there's no patakis in Lukumi that he has daughters. Just sons. So, also another thing why he won't work, he won't get initiated. I mean, I'm not saying he doesn't work with women. I'm just saying the initiations or, it's closed off. These secrets are closed off. So, unless you're Macho Man Randy Savage or something, Chuck Norris. So, what I'm trying to get at, okay, never had luck with women, but he's now, like, in his deformed state. He saw Oshun and he desired her. So again, he goes after sometimes what he just can't have or is not meant for him. So he goes to Oshun and she's not paying attention to him or she doesn't want to pay attention, whatever. He exposes himself. He exposes his wiener. And he flashes her. She gets insulted, and this is in front of every Orisha and so many Orishas in front of our audience. She laughs at him. She mocks him. She really humiliates him. I mean, I'll tell you, her words can cut like a knife, and boy, did she cut him. And she made fun of his member and said it was small and inadequate, and she laughed at him. Now, if it was a male Orisha, he wouldn't have been so embarrassed, but since it was a female, and she did it in front of everyone, and she laughed and scoffed at him and joked, he went away humiliated. So he was like, no, I only have sons, and I only work with men. I only going to be initiated to men, and that's in Lukumi. Okay, so yes, Nigeria and has Isheshe, and I know Isheshe has graced America, but it's in America, even America, Lukumi is the big thing here. So what's going on? The fight between Aruna. It says Aruna is okay. Aruna is the golden, is all of Damari's golden child. All right. Yeah, the golden child. So, of course, Aruna gets mad. And here's the thing. I mean, not Aruna. Osain gets mad. And there's one time when Aruna, I guess he just pissed off Osain, or Osain just got pissed off at him. Either way, Osain was going to beat the crap out of him. And this is before I believe this is before the deformities. And this, all of a sudden, this like mysterious feminine presence come. And she says, "What's wrong?" Because Aruna was, escaping Osain. He told him that Osain and him got into an argument. One thing led to another. And now he's going to beat me up, possibly kill me. And the feminine voice said, "Don't worry. I can protect you." This is where it gets strange, okay? And he goes, "Okay, but there's a cost." And Aruna said, "What?" "Have sex with me. Make love to me." And Aruna thought about it and said, "Yes." And remember, this woman, this feminine woman, is old. Because she appeared to herself as very old. Could it be Nana Buruku? I don't know. But it was Osain's mother. When I think about it, it could be. I don't know. But it was old presence. And so she covered Aruna. And here's Joker. She covered Aruna, and Osain could not find him. He could not find Aruna at all. Well, when Osain left, Aruna kept his promise. Right? And of course, word gets back, and Aruna was pretty much, who's your daddy? And I'm pissed. Osain, no offense. I'm just telling the story as it is. No offense. Osain was mad. There was another time when Osain and Aruna got into a fight. And Aruna is not like a warrior like Osain. He doesn't know how to, throw the punches. And Osain beat him to the inch of his life. I mean, knocked him unconscious. Well, after he wakes up, Chungo happens to come by. "Who did this to you?" He said, "Osain beat me up." Chungo's like, "No one beats up my big brother." And he laid out a plan. He got about 6 torches unlit, and he put accelerant everywhere, right? He goes, "This is what I want you to do. I want you to go to Osain, rile him up, and have him chase you. Run into this circle, but then run out as fast as you can. And, give me the signal, and I'll take care of it." So Urmila did exactly that. Riled him up, which is pretty easy. And Osain came running after Urmila. So Urmila goes through the circle, runs out, and says, gives him the go, to commence attack. And Chungo let out a big lightning bolt. Kaboom! Burned half of Osain. Okay? Osain is now burnt. Now, Chungo was about to kill him. But Aruna said, "Spare his life. We can get things out of him. We could probably get a lot of things out of him." So an agreement was made that he's not going to mess with Urmila, and that knowledge was given, and that you're not going to do what you're doing anymore. So, yeah, Osain's life was spared because of Urmila. Now, how did Osain become a servant or slave of Chungo? Well, Osain had a habit of messing with people and Orishas and fighting. And one day they just decided to get a mob. And they're going after Osain. Osain's running, 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 running. And he happens, I mean, to run into Chang'o. And Chang'o says, "What's going on?" He goes, well, Osain says, "Well, I really did it this time. Everyone's after me. They're going to beat me up. I'm not stronger than them all." Well, Chang'o says, "I'm stronger than all of them." And Osain said, "Yes, but I'll do anything if you protect me." Chang'o said, "Would you be my servant, my slave?" Osain said, "Yes." Uh-oh, right? So Chang'o said, "Don't worry. I got your back. I got your six." And basically did protect him. So anytime, like, Osain is now like owned by Chang'o, and which also then the headmasters of Ramila. So he has to give offerings to Chang'o. He has to do his due diligence with Chang'o. So that's another story. So Osain has deep mysteries. Healing, like Osain with one hand can heal and the next hand kill. All right. So Osain is the sorcerer, the sorcerer. He is the herbalist. He's the wart cunner. He's the botanist. He knows good magic and really dark magic. The hidden properties and the nature between in each leaf. He's the essence of it. He is the wisdom of it. And it is said that no herbs, no orishas. That's it. So Osain Agwenegui also, this is not one. Osain Agwenegui Aguado E with the Y. E Kuri. He's pronounced Osain, Osainin. No, you don't. He is just trying to mess this up. So his cult centers come from Oyo, Takua, Iyesa. Those are like the main things that he comes from. Now, he is the inhabitant of the jungles, the woods, the forest. If you can, the place that he likes to be is outside. But not everyone can place their Orisha outside. The warriors like to be outside, but not everyone can do that, or not everyone's willing to put their statues out there and leave it out to the elements and to nature, or have people question them and then get outed and then get chased out of the neighborhood, get fired from their job, get harassed, be called every name under the sun: evil, devil worshiper, psychopath. Oh, you must kill children and animals, look at you. Or you must be a deranged pervert. And things are getting pretty bad out there. So anyways, Osain is the master of natural magic, sorcery. He is the owner of the foliage. So when we got trees in the jungle, woods and forests. So he likes to be out in nature. He likes to be out out and about. But not everyone can do that in the city. Now, can you? I mean, if you live in an apartment building, and if especially if it's an inside complex, not like you can put it outside on common grounds. It's going to be taken off of you. Some apartments, you go in, you're actually indoors to get to your apartment. That's how it was for me when I lived in the city. So he's an herb grower of the Orishas, the patron of all vegetation that has ever existed and will exist on planet Earth. And, you know, at one time when children were born, they were bathed in an herbal bath mixture. And this deals with Osain, no matter whether you're a boy or girl. So he's also the bata drums. He also is a custodian or dealing with the bata drums. So you got like the djembe drum, you got the bata drums, you got the they're all different types. So he deals with the bata drums. Now he also deals his wisdom knowledge goes beyond the foliage, the herbs, the plants. He also deals with mineral kingdom. He also deals a connoisseur of the animal kingdom. So yeah, he also has good premonition. And it is also said in the human body, he represents the left part of the body, left hand path, one would say, but his left hand path is deeper than that. But yes, he can deal with the right hand path and the left hand path of magic, and the middle path is so God, I've been talking 32 minutes. He can give great advice and knowledge of herbs. Again, if you're working with Osain and something isn't right, back off. If you're starting to feel like you're going to have an anxiety attack, back off. If you feel that you should not call him, back off. That's all I can tell you. If you feel called to him, then that's a different story. Make sure it's not your ego. It's something true. But you do what you want anyways. I digress. So numbers has been associated with him. Several different numbers. 6, sometimes 7, 9, even 16. Depending on you're working with him. So Osain's Day is January 17th. And that's from Synchronous, the saint he's associated with. This synchronician. And I'm just trying to think of the saint's name. Shoot, sorry. It'll come to me. Osain's color, mainly green, but all the different colors of the foliage, but mainly green. I've heard white, I've heard some red because of the blood, but green. Green, all the spectrums of green and all the colors of the herbs. Things that some people also have been given to him, and I can't tell you to do this, especially if it's not legal. And only where it's legal is marijuana. So edibles have been given to him. Things, delightful gummies and brownies and made with potato chips and stuff has been given to him. So if you are able to participate in 420, you can give to him. So it's also said that, and this is Lukumi, it's best to collect your herbs during the day, like after the morning when the morning dew is on it and before sunset. And there's a whole big story with that. So remember, January 17th is his day. And also, he is also a fortune teller. He's a he's a diviner. And yes, he is, he knows, like, you think about it, tea leaf reading. Deals with Osain, right? I'm not saying that's part, that everyone does that in Okumi, but, tea reading. So one of the things, he's like the one who has the multiplying gift. The gift that keeps on giving. That's what he deals with. And that could be good and that could be bad. You could say, hey, my investment is a gift that keeps on giving. Or, oh yeah, the disease I have is a gift that keeps on giving. So, yeah. So, yes, he is going to deal with spirituality and the curanderos and the deras, but also that of witches, and in a good sense as well as the not so good sense. So, if you look at the word Osa or Oza, it is the wind that is never calm, never still. He is the wind that is changeable and unstable, and that is never in one place. His element, definitely earth. So you look at Osain, he is the one that is, it's unstable power, and with the when you think about that. So I'm still drawing a blank on the saints. I'm sorry about that. So, I bought this statue a long time ago. Not once have I ever. I mean, I was a little Osain and just burned incense, but I never directly worked with him in a spell. So the saints that I'm thinking of is Saint Anthony of Egypt is celebrated on January 17th. And okay. He reminds me like he can be like Poison Ivy from DC if he wants to be. Now how sometimes she's good and sometimes she's bad in the DC with Harley Quinn animation. I'm not saying he's bad though, but he well, back to the saints. John the Baptist has been synchronized with him. Saint Joseph, Saint Benedict, Saint Sylvester. So, yeah. So Osain even has an aspect where he works in Palo Monte as well as Palo Mayumbe. So you have what's called the baptized and non baptized Palo Mayumbe. Each one, has its beauty and it has its charms. The stuff that is said about Palo Mayumbe, yeah, it can be dark, but it's also, Palo is not like Ooga Booga boogeyman, okay? It has its community, a family, it has its beauty, it has its spirituality, it's not like what, movies have made it out to be, like Oonga, Oonga Boonga Boonga. So when you have a Santero of Santeria, you have the Tata of Palo, and some people in Santeria or go to Palo and then Santeria, and that's called Scratched. But yeah, don't believe all the hype. And just like any religion, you'll have bad people in Palo Mayumbe, just like you have bad people in Islam. You have really bad people in Islam. You have really bad people in Christianity. You have bad people in Satanism. So, you also have very good people. So Osain knows the secrets of the herbs and foliage to bring, good luck, protection, love, prosperity, to heal, but also cursing, crossing, binding, and to harm. Okay, the herbs is not all love and light, and neither is the earth. Even candomblé has a version of Osain. Without herbs, no, no tambors, no asientos, no ceremonies. That's it. So Osain can teach you how to make incense powders, how to make oils, how to distill herbs, to make tinctures, to make poultices, to make healing teas and potions with it. Osain is a hermit, all right? He's not a social butterfly. He's not a socialite. He's not out there in the world and out there all over the internet and being an influencer. He likes to be by himself, all right? He's a hermit. Like the tarot card, the hermit. And he doesn't like being always annoyed and bothered. And you see the eye patch he does in some iconographies wearing a patch. Sometimes he hides his head behind a mask made of grass. And you see his symbol right here. He has sometimes a staff he's seen with a staff top with a crown that has 16 types of small birds. And there's like a large bird on top. And it's symbolic of his mastery, his owner, his knowledge and wisdom of the herbs. So he's even been associated, go back to his synchronization. He's been associated with Saint Benedict and even Saint Sylvester. So even another feast day has been March 18th, but January 17th. And it depends on your tradition. So you might say, well, it's March 18th. No, it's January 7th. So again, the traditions. His offerings, he definitely enjoys candles. He definitely enjoys rum. And don't be sacrificing any animals unless you're... I'm not even going to get into that. Okay. Basically, don't faffle him. Don't fool around and find out with him. But yes, you can give him, he'll enjoy a salad. Just some things, fruits, especially leaves. Incense, oils, you can't go wrong with that. Green and white candles. But again, remember, this is a hot Orisha. This is not a cool Orisha. This is like Chango is hot, Oya is hot, Oshun is cool, Orisha Yamaya is cool, Ogun is hot, so Ilegwa is hot. So, yeah, just give them edibles if it's allowed in your country, in your area, in your state, or you have a medical marijuana license. But then I can't be telling you to go use that to do offerings, or if you're allowed to smoke it, you can, imbibe, you can partake with him. Tobacco leaves. I mean, again, that's an herb. I'm not telling you to go smoke cigarettes or, but he likes the leaves. So when you look at a cigar, it's made with leaves, right? That comes from the tobacco leaves, which is, again, herbs. So has he calmed down after all this? Yes. After all being burnt, after being deformed, but still, it's going to depend on your tradition. Just, of how aggressive he is. Some say he has like a calm side, and there are some women that say, I've had successes working with him, or I have no problem with him. Again, if you feel something's wrong, listen to your gut feeling. And also, if you feel he's asking something that you just don't feel comfortable with, and that goes with any deity, it's just time to just remove yourself in that situation. So again, an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. If you throw caution to the wind, sometimes the wind is going to just throw you back. Okay, remember that. So if you have a green thumb and you like your plants, you could put like an image of Osain and ask them to be the guardian of your garden or your plants or your greenery. Especially if you love gardening and you love planting flowers, you can ask Osain to make it grow, to protect it. If you're trying to grow and you're having, some bad luck, you can ask Osain to help you with that. And remember, a lot of medicines, modern medicine, has come from herbs like aspirin. I mean, comes from the willow bark. Valium has come from valerian. So we have things that are derived from it. But again, use caution when working with herbs. Now remember, Osain has the power of the life and death with these herbs. And there's so much more to learn about this Orisha. And I'm not trying to scare you or anything, just being a messenger. That's all I am. And you see his gourd of herbs, and you see this cowrie shells that represented wealth. That was used as money, as currency at one time. That was literally used as currency. Look how rich he is. This represents wealth. It's not because he wants to. He looks. Okay, it's not because he wants to look like he's this wild hermit, like wanting to look like the Unabomber. you know. No offense, but this represents money, prosperity, luck. Aj is also dealing with cowrie shells. She's Orisha, not Aja, but Ajay. Two different Orishas. Aja and Ajay are two different Orishas. I already did a presentation on Aja. She's from Africa, and she deals with the knowledge of the herbs and stuff. So if you want a feminine form, she's not. I don't think she's even recognized in Lukumi Aja. I think there's more Africa. I think she's becoming part of Lukumi, or maybe she's honored. I don't know. Maybe she is, but she's more of African than Afro-Caribbean. But Ajay deals with the cowrie shells. We see wealth. We see mastery of the herbs. We see him very natural, very rustic. He's very rustic. He's very raw. He's very earthy. He's very natural. He's, you know, he's wild. So, yeah. Let me see. Risha Osain. People pronounce him Osain here. But you see, he wears a crown of leaves. I mean, it shows royalty over the natural world. So anyways, I really hope you enjoyed this presentation. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up. You can really help me out by subscribing. I do not have a Patreon account as of yet. I am not making 1 cent off these YouTube videos. And I'm, giving you these videos and information out for free. I'd really appreciate a like and subscribe. If you are a Isheshe and you work with Osain, let me know. If you work with Lukumi or other traditions and you're a woman and you work with Osain, let me know. Or you're a man and, if you're a child of Osain, and yes, he can be crowned in Isheshe, but if you just let me know. Hey, I work with you. Don't divulge any secrets. I'm not asking for that. And that's, not going to happen anyway, even if I did ask for it. But, yeah, I work with Osain. I never had a problem with him or... So let me know whether good or bad about your experiences with this Orisha. So I did want to dedicate this to Brandy and David. And I also want you, you never know when someone's number is up. Keep in contact. Check on someone. If they're feeling down and out, at least send them, something, even if it's just a funny meme or something, that you're thinking of them. Because one day they'll be there in your life and the next day they will not be. Also, think about, cleaning up your, if you go camping, clean up after yourself. If you see some mess that, safe for you to clean up, then clean it up. Leave the place looking better than you found it. And be good to yourselves. Anyways, thank you very much. And as always, blessed be.